On Friday afternoon, during opening the Buckley Heritage the library, I was asked if I knew anything about the plane that came down in the trap. I knew very well about this. During the last war, 1939-45, a German two-engine bomber laden with bombs, which we thought was on its way to Liverpool, came down in the Oakwood field near the east end of the trap. This plane had been shot down outside Oswestry. and when the airmen on board realized that the plane was doomed, they bailed out over Trything Nerquis. So when the plane came down, it was empty of men. There was a fairly great crater left in the field, and it was unbelievable that only Mrs. T.J. Kelly, that was the only one who had any permanent injury. She was hit by a piece of flying glass and lost her eye. Many people had many lucky escapes through bricks having been sent anywhere, and people woke up with bricks near their heads on the pillow outside on the bed when they were asleep. This happened on a Thursday night, and I was living then on the common. Immediately I heard the bang and got up. I went down to my parents in Liverpool Road and found they were in a shocking state. A brick had landed just outside on the pillow right by my dad's head. I went down then immediately to fetch Charlie to Muir Green. He came up. I said, "Bring your tools with you," I said, "because we've got work to do." And then he said, about 5:30, he said, "Go to the top of the road," he said, "and meet the bus going to Summers and get Charlie Fletcher to come here." So Charlie Fletcher came. Now, from then on, we borrowed a pair of ladders, and we were on practically every house in Liverpool Road till after 11 o'clock at night. I've never been so tired in all my life. We had put slates on repaired roofs on I'd say nearly every house on the right hand side as you go down Liverpool Road. There's very little damage on the near side where the plane had come down, because the road slopes down to the bottom towards Muir Green. Anyhow, many years afterwards, in our Common Interest magazine of the church, Mrs. Gladys Roberts wrote an article about this, how that morning, Friday morning, a father went out in the field and he came back with a very young, timid and frightened young German airman. A very young man, I understand. Unfortunately, I can't find a cutting of that yet, but I'll ask Mrs. Roberts for one. And they fed him and cleaned him up and that, and then what they had to do then was to send for the police at Mould, and they came and detained him. Now that's all I can tell you about it, but it was a terrible experience for the people around there, but it was wonderful to find that after it all done, there was no harm done to anybody, only Mrs. Kelly. And then on the Friday afternoon, the pilot who had shot the plane down, he came to Buckley with some more of his people, and one man said to him, "It's a bad job that plane didn't come a little bit earlier and fall in the trap clay hole in the pit." My heart, he said, "if that had happened, not many people would have been alive in this area." So that was his opinion of it all. So that is the story of the plane that came down. That is the story of the Liverpool Road action. But the part that had the most damage was what we used to call, I don't know what the name of it really was, but we used to call it Kelser's Row in the trap. It was back to back with Gerard's Row, and they had every window and every door blasted in that row. It was more damage was done there than anywhere else.